First-time NBA All-Stars. These hopefuls have strong cases. With the first round of fan voting for the 2025 NBA All-Star Game in the books, it's looking likely that plenty of established superstars will tack another All-Star nod onto their already glittering resumes. To me, though, the best part of the annual mid-season exhibition, yes, even better than the Nigh-On-Constant format changes introduced to try to make everybody care about the game again, is when we get an injection of fresh blood into the proceedings. To be clear, I'll never turn my nose up at getting to watch Lebron James, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant and co. It's just always fun to see new players force their way into the fold, playing well enough to demand attention and recognition from the NBA's various voting bodies, the fans, fellow players and media members who cast ballots for starters, and the coaches who pick the rest of the rosters and put themselves in position to earn their first selections. Getting into that position won't be easy. The 7 multi-time All-Stars who topped 1 million fan votes in the first round of returns, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum, Durant, James, Karl Anthony Towns, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, all look like locks for selection, health permitting. And when you factor in some of the other well-known veterans with strong vote totals and statistical profiles, players like Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, and Kyrie Irving in the Western Conference, and Jaylen Brown, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, and Trae Young in the East, those 12-man rosters begin to fill up pretty damn quick. Some first-time hopefuls, though, might have strong enough cases to stand out from a very talented crowd. 4 of the players I highlighted in this space last season, Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Scotty Barnes, and Paolo Banchero, did go on to make their first appearances. Let's take a look at some contenders who could follow in their footsteps this February, listed in no particular order. Well, except for the first one. I'd like to thank San Antonio's 7'4" Fever Dream for prompting me to learn that no da translates to French, roughly, as non bien sûr. Wembanyama sits in the top 10 in the NBA in scoring, rebounds, and of course, blocked shots. He is on pace to become the 6th player in NBA history to average 25 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 3 assists per game for a full season, joining 5 of the greatest big men of all time: Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Patrick Ewing. He has also made more three-pointers, stellar bench play, etc. A sizable share of it, though, belongs to Mobley, who in his 4th season has taken a long-awaited offensive leap and, in the process, performed like one of the best two-way players in the entire NBA. The 23-year-old has blossomed in a bigger role in Cleveland's offensive hierarchy. Mobley's not just averaging a career-high 18.8 points per game. He's doing it on career highs in true shooting percentage, which factors in 2-point, 3-point, and free throw accuracy, and points per shot attempt, while also taking more shots, increasing his time of possession, and finishing a larger share of the Cavs' offensive possessions with a shot attempt, foul drawn, or turnover. For most players, an increase in usage leads to a decrease in efficiency, which makes sense. It's hard to do stuff as well when you have to do more of it. When you can still produce at the same high level while shouldering a heavier playmaking burden, though, that's the sign of stardom. Mobley has tightened up his handle, empowering him to be more aggressive attacking the basket en route to career-high numbers in drives per game and points per drive. The confidence has extended to the perimeter. He has more than doubled his three-point attempt rate from last season, and he's knocking down a career-best 41.7% of his triple tries. Put that point-producing development next to his customary excellence on the defensive end. Top 10 in the NBA in contested shots, blocks, and defensive EPM, helping anchor a top 6 defense, whether he's playing the 4 next to Jared Allen or sliding over to center, and you've got a strong case by the numbers. Add in the context of the Cavs' damn near perfect start and rocket ship ride to the no 1 seed in the East, and how his play on both ends has fueled it, and Mobley feels like he should be a sure thing. Oklahoma City's climb to title contention centers on Gilgeous-Alexander's rise from late lottery pick to perennial MVP candidate. But the Thunder wouldn't be who they are, a top 10 offense, a historically monstrous defense, able to shapeshift and swap spots in the blink of an eye, without Williams' own journey from late lottery pick to the brink of stardom, which has continued apace in his third season. J-Dub's one of just 6 players in the NBA this season averaging at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 steals per game. The other 5, 2 MVP candidates, SGA and Jokic, someone who would be a third if not for games missed due to injury, Doncic. Another ascendant wing who saw his own All-Star campaign paused by injury, Franz Wagner, and James Harden, who, despite suffering through his worst shooting campaign in 15 years, has played a massive role in keeping the Clippers in the Western playoff picture while Kawhi Leonard worked his way back to the court. Pretty decent company for a no-2 option. Williams compounds that complementary offensive value with phenomenal defensive versatility. He doesn't guard the opponent's top threat every night. OKC has Luguentz Dort and Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso, and, for that, but the 6'5" Williams punches up in weight class every night. With more shooters and finishers on the other end of his passes, only Young and Jokic average more assists or points created via assist than Cunningham, who's flirting with becoming the first Piston to crack 10 dimes per game since Isaiah Thomas back in 1987. With more offensive threats for defenses to honor, Cunningham's seeing less congestion when he drives to the basket, which he does more often than anybody besides SGA, Brunson, and De'Aaron Fox, leading him to generating points on 65.3% of those drives, a career high. And when defenses sag off of him or go under on screens to try to keep him out of the paint, he's developed the ability to punish them with the pull-up 3. A shot he hit just 30% of the time through his first 3 seasons that he's knocking down at a 38% clip thus far this season, and that makes him so much tougher to guard. When Cunningham's at the controls, a Detroit team that's still light on offensive talent overall scores at a near top 10 level. His play, as an improving scorer, as a top-flight facilitator, as a grab-and-go rebounder, as a willing defender, and as a leader, has the Pistons at 500 in January for the first time in 6 years, and with a real shot at postseason play. There's still plenty of room for improvement, but this is who the Pistons hoped Cade could be, an organizing principle, a rising tide that can lift all boats, an all-star. I thought Sengun had a case last season as the leading scorer, rebounder, and half-court offensive hub for a Houston team that began the difficult trek toward respectability before ultimately falling just shy of postseason play. This season's Rockets have climbed all the way into second place in the West, pairing their elite defense with a kind of shockingly top 10 offense that, once again, frequently revolves around the Turkish big man's rare combination of dancer's footwork, deft touch, and dad strength. The 22-year-old's shooting efficiency has tailed off this season, but he's still averaging 19 points on 49% shooting to go, with 10.4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.3 steals per night. Numbers that only Jokic and Kevin Garnett have matched before age 23. Sengun has mitigated his shooting slide by hitting the glass, dishing assists, and limiting turnovers at career-best rates, and continues to make strides as a defender under Ime Udoka, averaging a combined 5.4